And it's time for the part that you guys have all been waiting for. Y'all know what this is. It's time for the draft. So, you know how the draft goes. If you haven't, we'll give you a quick synopsis. Basically, we do a fictional draft, such as an NBA draft or NFL draft, and we go around in a circle, basically picking people, characters, or moments in anime time or history. And yeah, it's just like a draft. And so ScubaSteve normally comes up with the topic at hand. So I know nothing about this, and our guest knows nothing about this. And because he comes up with the topic at hand, he is number 3 on the list. Our guest of today, which should be our forever protagonist, Crystal, will be number 1, and I'll be number 2. So with that, Steve, what do you have us doing a draft on today?
All right. So for this time, because I wasn't sure how versed you are in sports anime, Crystal.
Me?
No, I was about to say Crystal. I know you're good on.
I was like, me?
Yeah.
I've seen 3.
You seen 3? Okay. So
I've seen 3.
Okay, we won't do that one. We will do.
He's like, I've seen 3. Yeah. No.
Let's do the ball head draft.
The
Best
ball head draft. Whew,
I mean, you could have still
right.
you know.
Okay.
Woo! Who do I know that's bald?
And I came up with this right now. Like, I don't even have picks. I don't even have picks right now.
All right. So this should be interesting then, because I was definitely not prepared for this, but we should have fun. So now let me make sure, because I always got to clarify for people. Bald head means 0 hair, or are we just saying balding? Like, for example, you got a bunch of old men that's bald, but you also got a normal characters that's also bald. So what are we saying? Like, if they got bald in the middle and a little bit of hair on the side is okay?
That's cool. I'll do balding and bald. That'll
Okay.
work.
All right. Okay.
We'll do that. Give you a few more people.
Say that.
So, Crystal.
Okay.
Number 1 pick.
Crystal, you sort of just threw it on her, so I can understand that she's not directly ready on this. But
so we're going best or most recognizable, or how? Like,
no, number 1 pick. Whatever you want to pick, Crystal.
It's all on you.
All right. Well, I'm gonna start with the black guy from Sword Art Online. That's where I'm starting.
And his name is
Andrew Gilbert Mills is his name, according to the internet.
Okay, you want to give us a slight according to the internet. My goodness. For people that don't know who she's referring to, I'll help out on this one. He was the bartender in Sword Art Online. So when Kirito and Asuna basically ends up getting more established in Sword Art Online, which is about midway through season 1, they end up meeting this guy, and he is a black guy who happens to be bald at the same time, and he's the bartender. When they come back into the real world, coincidentally, he's also a bartender in real life, which makes it absolutely hilarious that in game and in real life, he's still the same person. Attack wise, he wasn't that strong, so he understood that if they were going to be stuck in SAO, he was going to just sit back because he knew he wasn't the strongest like Asuna and Kirito, but he did his part and played his part. So yes, he is considered bald. I understand that completely whatsoever. So all right, that is the first pick. So we'll run with that. But like I said, this draft should be pretty interesting. So with me getting the number 2 pick, I'm pretty sure I'm snaking Steve's number 2 pick or his first pick. But I'm going to pick one of the more famous people that's bald-headed in anime, and that has to be Krillin from Dragon Ball. That's the most obvious bald-headed cat that I can ever remember. It's Krillin, dog. Krillin literally has had no hair since we've seen him. He's a monk. Naturally, monks are bald.
And then he all of a sudden grew hair.
And then what makes it crazier, as he gets older, he grows hair, which, again, is a whole nother situation. So I guess when he's not being a monk, he grows his hair out, but when he is a monk and he's training, he does not grow his hair out. But for the most part, Krillin for sure is one of the more memorable bald-headed people that I've ever remembered when it comes to anime. So Krillin is my pick at number 2.
Okay. I am going to choose the obvious one for me, which was Saitama. from One Punch Man.
Okay, all right.
We all know who Saitama is. I don't think we got to go too much into detail, but you know what I'm saying, 100 push-ups, 100 sit-ups. Was it 1 mile? The 1 mile he
Right.
runs, and then all of a sudden that's him training.
No, it
so
was
hard.
100 push-ups, 100 sit-ups, 10K miles. 10K is roughly like 7 miles or something like that.
Okay, so 10K. And he trained so hard that he made himself go completely bald. Like he don't got eyebrows. My man don't got no eyebrows. He's bald. He's out of there. So yeah, and I mean he's one of the more recognizable bald characters. He's holding it down for the bald-headed people in the world.
The bald-headed people in the world.
I think he's probably the strongest bald-headed character per se, because it is a parody anime. I don't know his strength for real, but I think is a great first rounder off.
All right. I run with it. You good with it? All right. So at this point, 3 picks are in. We have what's his name again? Crystal
Mills.
Andrew Mills from Sword Art Online. We have I'm sorry. We have Dragon Ball and we have Saitama from One Punch Man. Crystal, I'm curious what your number 4 pick is at this point.
Where is she gonna go with?
Where is she going with her number 4 pick? Go ahead, Crystal.
I'm gonna go with Tatsuma Suguru from Blue Exorcist.
Okay.
All right. That's a little bit more grounded for sure.
Okay.
Yes, we're good. Okay. Explain. Do you know who Tatsuya is? And I do, but I'm curious.
He's Ryu's father. It was a little complicated because they didn't have the best relationship, even though he was known as the head priest of the temple. But if it wasn't for him, things wouldn't have gotten done and taken care of during that arc that I can't remember. What is it? The Kyoto Saga.
Yeah.
Y'all met my brain. This is how my brain works, guys. I'm sorry. And then they realize how just legit he is during that arc. And, you know, he realizes that his father's not that bad of a guy. So, yeah, we'll go with him today. Y'all can fill in as you see fit.
All right.
No. That's a good pick. I actually love that pick.
Yeah, that pick's not a bad pick at all.
And I love when Crystal's on because she always gives us those out of the
You're
pocket.
right. You're right. There's always curveballs being thrown when Crystal does the draft.
Yeah.
You're right.
All right. Well, what you got for
us? With number 5 pick, I'm going to pick somebody that's obvious, but you probably wouldn't even think of, and that's going to be Jet from Cowboy Bebop.
Okay.
So Jet, obviously not Spike, but Jet, which is the other bounty hunter. And we all know that Jet basically was there to literally deal with the bullshit that Spike put him through. Like, literally, Jet was just there just to make sure that Spike didn't literally set everybody up to get killed. That's literally what Jet's idea was. So Jet ran around. Jet made sure the ship was okay. Jet did his thing. And literally, everybody, because between Spike, Faye, and the dog. It was a fucking circus everywhere around there. So you know for sure that Jet had his hands full, but that's who I'm choosing. Jet from Cowboy Bebop, number 5.
Okay, we got a little static in there, but you know what I'm saying? For the most part, we got it.
All right, appreciate it.
So since everybody choosing a black ball-headed man, it's only right that I choose one, right? So I choose Dutch from Black Lagoon.
Good pick.
No way I'm letting everybody get a black ball-headed man and I don't get one. You know what I'm saying? We got to get.
So wait, are we considering Jet black? Is that what I'm hearing?
People do. I don't know.
I mean, there's been other black characters in Cowboy Bebop that were a little bit more dark skinned, but
a little more melanin. We might be a little light skinned. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
a little heavy D with ball-headed heavy D a little bit, but. I'm not gonna let it go by. I'm choosing Dutch from Black Lagoon. If you guys know who Dutch is, he's a badass. Revy is the badass of Black Lagoon, but Dutch is not far from, you know what I'm saying, from being there. He's a good number 2. And then he gives you the pump action shotgun. For me, that's my favorite weapon whenever I'm playing shooters because I like to run and gun, and I like to get up close and personal. So the pump action shotgun, Dutch, the green vest that he had, the little bubble vest that he got, looking like a 90s New Yorker with the little bubble vest.
Right.
Yeah. So
that is a cool character. I must say that he is pretty cool.
Yeah, he's dope. I like him, and then his voice actor is pretty dope too. So
yeah,
like dope.
All right. Nice. So at number 4, Tatsuma, Blue Exorcist. Number 5, Jet from Cowboy Bebop. Number 6, Dutch from Black Lagoon. Crystal, number 7 pick. What you got?
You said a tad bit of hair counts, right? Like even if it's just like a little cowlick
little cool. It's cool. He's balding.
So I'm going Armstrong from Full Metal Alchemist.
Okay.
Ooh,
all right.
Okay.
I was wondering if that was going to be somebody's pick. I was curious. Okay. All right.
The funny thing is with him, when I started watching Full Metal just a regular years ago, and I started
the Full Metal Alchemist. I got you.
Yeah, he was the reason why I stopped watching because he kept irking my soul. And I never went back. And then it wasn't until last year or early this year I finally watched Brotherhood, and I'm like, why did I stop? He's not that annoying as I remember. I actually like him. He's with the shits. So I will go with him today.
All right, that's a very, very strong pick. Number 7, a number 7 pick. I'm pretty shocked at that.
My range of picks is hilarious.
It always is. It always is with the forever protagonist. It's always hilarious. All right, I'm shocked that this guy even got to me. Steve, I low-key threw you a bone, but you, of course, decided not to pick him. So, of course, I'm going to pick him now that I gave you a shot at him. Number 8, it's the most obvious pick of them all. Like, you know, Master Roshi. Nope. Master Roshi.
Oh, okay. There we go.
Yep, that's who I thought you were going to pick.
Okay, yeah, it got to be Master Roshi. And for all the obvious reasons. I gave him to you. In reality, you could have chose him at 6. You decided not to choose. You should have waited on your Dutch pick, honestly. But
when you chose Krillin, that's who I thought you were going with when you said most noticeable bald character. And I was like, okay.
Nope. Yeah. Master Roshi. Honestly, I don't even have to explain much about Master Roshi. Y'all know who Master Roshi is. Next pick. Next pick.
All right. So I feel like I should stay in the Dragon Ball Z realm.
Careful.
I don't know if we want to keep giving Dragon Ball Z all this love.
Hey, yeah, you know I ain't gonna ever complain about giving Dragon Ball Z love. You know that.
You know what? I'm gonna do one because I know Black likes Fairy Tail. So I'm gonna choose.
All right.
Choose Makaro Drea.
Okay. Yep.
From Fairy Tail.
Mm-hmm.
And you know what I'm saying? He's pretty much the leader of the Fairy Tail Guild. And everybody likes him in a sense. You know what I'm saying? Like there are people that just don't like Fairy Tail in general, but we're not talking to them. We're talking about everybody else that truly pretty much enjoys Fairy Tail. He's an older character. He's a wise character. He's their master, their sensei in a sense of their person that their guild master that they look up to and everything like that. He's highly accomplished, and he's the grandpa or uncle of what's his name? Dang, I forgot.
He is the grandfather of Laxus.
Grandfather of Laxus. Okay, I didn't know if it was grandfather or uncle, but he's the elder of Laxus, and we all know how powerful Laxus fucking is. Right. But Laxus was just hard-headed, and this is why I liked him so much. He kicked his own grandson out the guild because it wasn't no favoritism. It wasn't none of that shit. Like you being hard-headed, you gotta fucking go. And I really appreciated that from him. So I appreciated that he stood on his own. He wasn't no like, you know what I'm saying, I'm gonna be nice to my grandson just because he's in my guild and all this other stuff. And once again, it's not a complete bald character, but he's definitely balding.
Yeah, he is balding.
He just won't let it go. He's like Stevie Wonder with the dreads. He just won't let them go. And it's just one of those things. He just won't let it go.
You are so rude. This is what makes you a villain, dog. This is why you're so low on the tier list, bruh. You didn't have to bring up Stevie. Really?
Next pick. next pick.
Golly. So
I thought I was just, giving detail on. All right, my bad.
Number 7, Armstrong from Full Metal Alchemist. Number 8, Master Roshi from Dragon Ball. Number 9, Makaro from Fairy Tail. Number 10, Crystal. Who you got? Steve is
John
wild.
Pixis from Attack on Titan.
Okay, so that was one that I wouldn't say was next, but it was on the list. I'll be honest. So you sort of snaked me.
I'm sorry.
It's okay.
I'm like, who do I recognize off this list I'm looking at?
I expected to be snaked at some point, so I get it. Okay.
Yeah, no.
I'm not upset at that pick. I get that pick. Yeah, Dot. I think Dot, when he's introduced into Attack on Titan, for sure has one of those moments of being like, "Wait, who's this old guy?" But you realize that he's just one of those guys that he literally doesn't give a fuck. He's like, "Bro, I didn't see it. I didn't see enough that I don't give a fuck. Like, we either dying today or we living today. What we doing?" And it's like, dog, you do know you are like the high commander, bro. Like, you can't be acting like that. But hey, that's how he felt, and I wasn't mad. So I get it. And hey, he was just like, bro, it is what it is at this point. So I'm not gonna be mad at it. But all right.
That's not bad. That's not bad.
No, and it's not a bad pick. That's what I'm like, okay, you got me. You got me on that one. Because I was leaning to picking him next. So I was like, all right, you sort of snake one for me. So now I'm over here sort of. All right, I got you. All right. So next pick. Number 11.
Woo! We love Mayonaka mixer. Woo!
What is wrong with you?
We are recording, sir. We are recording.
That threw me off completely. I'm not going to even lie.
This is why I pray for you every day, Black. This
Bro,
is exactly why.
If he would have showed up in the background, like showing, like with his shirt up, like whoa.
Don't give him any ideas. Don't give him any
like
ideas.
Somebody dropped the Mardi Gras beads at that motherfucker. And
Do not give him any ideas.
Oh, that would have been
all right. I'm gonna go off on a little side binge, and it's a ballhead character, but it's probably one that you're not thinking of. It's also from Full Metal Alchemist, and that's gonna be Gluttony.
God damn it!
You right?
It's not the character that you think of being bald, because naturally when we think of bald, we're thinking of older character. But Gluttony, for his own reason, is bald, and you don't know why. But just Gluttony in general is already a unique character, because Gluttony is, oh my god, like they made Gluttony almost too perfect for Full Metal Alchemist, because like all he's trying to do is eat. He's a bigger guy. But because he's a bigger guy doesn't mean he can't move around. It's like y'all literally made Gluttony like Gluttony. Like y'all made it the perfect Gluttony. And yeah, man, like every time I think of Gluttony, he was the one I hated the most. I did not like Gluttony to save my life. Everybody else in Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood, referring to all of the 7 deadly sins, I enjoy. Lust, wrath, all of them were cool. Gluttony was that one I was like, that nigga needs to die. Like, die soon. Like, he needs to go. But
absolutely,
yeah, my pick's gonna be Gluttony. Clearly, I just snaked Steve's pick, so nonetheless, it happened.
I thought that I was like going on a, you know what I'm saying, out the box and choosing.
I guess again, as the draft goes, and as we podcast too much, that's what it is. We sort of figure out each other's picks a little bit too well.
All right, so this character that I'm choosing, I'm not sure how familiar you guys are with Baki.
Okay,
but Orochi from Baki. He's got the eye patch. He's fucking like, he's more so like a wiser character. Most of the time when he fights with his intelligence. Most of the time, more so than most of the characters in Baki are more power characters, and there's like overwhelming strength and stuff like that. Where Orochi is more so like technique based. He's fighting people, and then when he fights you, like you throw a punch, he grabs your arm and twists it and does all this crazy shit. And he just really, really is handing out ass whoopings in that fucking show. And it's all the time you think like, oh yeah, he finna hold an L, and he ain't holding no L. The ass whooping that he gave, the hardest ass whooping he gave was to Muhammad Ali Jr.
Don't even do that to me right now, dog. We're not gonna talk about it, because it made me feel some type of way. It's like, why he had to beat Muhammad Ali's ass? Like, you know what? All right, yeah. I got you.
He broke that man down. And it was like Muhammad Ali Jr. had been talking all that shit. He beat up so many people, and then niggas was just like, you know, we was fucking with you and we was letting you win Come outside real quick. And it was like after he already took an ass whooping, Orochi was the second ass whooping. And Orochi was like, come on outside. He was like, you want to fight me while I'm hurt? He said, no. He said, you supposed to be that nigga. He said, you supposed to
like say less.
He said, you supposed to stay ready. So come on outside. Come holler at me real quick. And
oh God.
he broke that man down. That shit was awful. Wow. But yeah, Orochi from Baki is just he a different animal. I fuck with him a lot. Heavy.
All right. So at number 10, we got Doc picks this from Attack on Titan. Number 11, Gluttony from Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood. Number 12, Dopo from Baki. All right, Crystal, your last pick. What you got?
Okay, and you can let me know if this doesn't work because I got a backup. So she's not completely bald because she got a little tiny braid sticking out the top of her head. But I'm picking Ipin from Hitman Reborn, baby Ipin.
Okay.
Because she's literally bald all here except this one little thing sticking out the back of her head.
But the only thing about that is I think she's bald because of the way that character's the chibi form of that character. Because when she gets older, she has lush, long hair.
That's why I was like, I don't know if this is going to work.
I wouldn't choose Ipin just because I get where you're going with it.
Yeah.
But again, when they show her later, she has beautiful long hair. So I think that they created that character just in chibi form just for the joke part of it.
Yeah. Okay. So then I'm going to go this route. It's going to be random because, this is how I work.
Hey, we're ready for it.
Is the blacksmith from Rising of the Shield Hero Earhart.
Okay.
I like
that.
He was one of the few people that even though he was like, what the fuck in the beginning, but he's like, okay, you are a good dude. I'm still going to help you out.
Right.
Throughout his entire journey when everybody else went shit. Fuck them.
And that paid dividends because the Shield Hero literally only fucks with him from here on in.
Yes.
Like he only fucks with him from there on in just because he gave him a shot. He and it's like, okay, like he was like, all right, like low key, I feel that what you did was wrong, but hey, nigga, you got coin. I'm still gonna let the money talk. So all right, I said the shit. We'll just let it go. All right, that wasn't a bad pick. I'm okay with that. Not somebody else.
That was hard.
Nonetheless, I didn't.
I try to make it. I try to make it difficult for you.
I'm over here just looking at everything I've watched. Who's bald in this show, and who's bald in this show?
Oh my god! All right, so if you notice, we could have did a ton of Dragon Ball picks. It is so many people that are bald in Dragon Ball. I mean, absolutely absurd. So after I named two, I was like, I had to name the most obvious two. That has to be a must. So I'm like, all right, I'm not gonna pick no more Dragon Ball picks. So my pick for my last pick is a guy that people honestly don't even realize because they probably don't watch the anime enough, and that's gonna be Sullivan. Sullivan is the grandpa from Welcome to Demon School of Miracle.
Sullivan.
Yes, the reason you don't think of him is one because he's from an anime that you don't know, but two, he has horns on his head. But he's bald because he is an old man. And it's crazy because I think when he was a young man, he did have hair. So officially, he's bald now. And so, yeah, Sullivan obviously they say he should be next in line to be the Demon King. He clearly has the charisma to be the Demon King because everybody knows him. And he's clearly powerful enough to be the Demon King because of the ability to be able to literally be the chairman of Babel, the school. So he has the ability, and we're just now finding out the reason to why he's not. And he has his own personal reason, but they discussed it in the last episode to why he's not. So maybe as the new season 3 of Arun Lakum comes out, we'll find out more. But Sullivan is a badass within himself. And honestly, if I'm looking at this list, he might be the strongest on this list if we're referring to bald-headed characters.
Saitama, if you count. I know he's a parody character, so...
Agreed. And so I guess that's where it becomes a little tricky because does the parody win out or does a real character win out? But everybody else in this character is getting wiped out by Sullivan if Sullivan decides to even get remotely serious. So everybody dies. And I mean, everybody dies fast. So we're going to pick Sullivan as my last pick for sure.
Okay.
What you got, Steve? Number 15, last pick.
it's always like one of those things where you're at 15, you're like, man, there's a lot of people I can still choose.
Yes, there is.
I feel like I got to give some credit to Hanzo from Hunter x Hunter. Hanzo, we didn't get to see much of him. We got to see him early on in the hunter exams and everything like that. We got to see him work. We got to see what kind of skills he got. We seen him. We saw him catch a body too early on, and but we just really didn't get to see as much as I would like to see. But I feel like, you know what I'm saying, I got to get some Hunter x Hunter representation since we didn't get any One Piece representation.
Okay.
You know, those are my two, Hunter x Hunter,
okay.
my 1 and 2. And we didn't get One Piece representation. So I was like, oh, shoot. So
we did not.
And I was all like, okay, so got to give Hanzo some credit. I feel like he needs some love. One Piece, they selling still right now. Hunter x Hunter, you know, it's fading away. It's holding on for dear life because my man going through it. But Hanzo, for sure, is one of my favorite bald characters. And he's like an authentic bald, like, you know what I'm saying? He's just actually just bald. He lost that shit. So I got to go Hanzo from Hunter x Hunter.
All right. And so that's how we wrap up the draft. Is there anybody that we should think of that gets the honorable mention? I mean, there's a ton of people in Dragon Ball. Like, we didn't mention Frieza, we didn't mention Hit, we didn't mention Tien, there's Piccolo. A bunch of Piccolo. There's a bunch of people in Dragon Ball. I don't know what the hell he was thinking, but
yeah, I was like, I don't want to keep fleshing out these Dragon Ball characters.
Agreed. But the two most important ones did get out, which is Master Roshi and Krillin. So I'm okay with that. I mean, I guess you could argue with Piccolo, but nonetheless, yeah.
Yeah. I would say Lao G from One Piece. He was part of Dressrosa's.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? The old man in Dressrosa and Doflamingo's crew.
Mm-hmm.
I'll say Chin Jiao, even though he's got the pointy head, but when it's not pointy, when my man Garp punched his head and made it into like a regular bald head. Yeah, so I'll give him one until Luffy popped it back out. That's the bald character I'll do. Is there anybody else you guys can think of off the top?
I find it funny that on this list that I've been staring at, they put Aang on there, even though Avatar: The Last Airbender. If it was, that would have been my first pick, but I know it's not.
Nah, yeah. Unfortunately, I think we all would have chose Aang if we could have just did a huge list like that. But
I would have respected it. I would have been like, you know what? I'll allow it. I'll allow it. Only for Aang, though. Any other draft, if we were like water user, you chose somebody from Avatar, I'd be like, no. But Aang for a ball head, I would allow it. I'd allow it.
For sure. All right. Well, with that wraps up the podcast. Well, our guest, Crystal, please plug your socials.
Thanks for having me, guys. As always, I had fun, even though my brain was scrambling during that draft. But you can find me on Twitter at CrystalLight10. I just be talking about what I'm watching. I thread stuff. Where else am I? You can follow me on Instagram if you want. I don't really nerd out on Instagram, but it's the same as my Twitter. So as always, thank you guys for having me. Hopefully I can come back one day. Shout out to the mob. Happy anniversary to the mob. And happy birthday to me. Yay.
All right, ScubaSteve, plug your socials. Jeez, can I say it?
You can find me on all social media, ScubaSteve1428. You can follow me on PlayStation and Xbox if you guys want to add me as a friend and play around. The same thing, ScubaSteve1428. I'm here. I'm on ItMob. I'm on Scholar ScubaSteve. I'm on Daz of Sports now. I'm on Careful for Spoilers. I'm on what's the shit? Mobcast Mafia. Whatever you want to follow me on, you can find me. And I'm working. That's what I'm trying to do is just stay busy. You stay out of trouble when you stay busy, man. So that's what I'm doing.
All right. You guys already know it's your boy Black, also known as SSSS Black. You can follow me on all social see the podcast page. It also link you to the YouTube page where you visual from the podcast. It also connects you to my YouTube page as well. as always, we had a good podcast. I think it was pretty fun. Watching Crystal scramble is always hilarious because it's just like somehow, some way, we gonna get through this, Crystal. We gonna get through this, but nonetheless,
I always find a way.
Hey, that's what the draft is for. The draft gives you chances for sure. But other than that, that's gonna be the end of this podcast. And as we always say, we out. Peace.